Last year, when I came to Glacier National Park by myself for the first time, I made a really big mistake. I didn't bring enough food. I ended up spending a bunch of money in town buying food because I didn't pack enough for my car camping trip. So this year, I decided to see if I could go to Glacier for 3 days without having to buy any food in town. I made sure to pack everything I thought I'd need for the entire trip. Breakfasts, lunches, dinners, snacks, and desserts. And because I'm car camping, I could bring fresh food, homemade freeze-dried meals, and way more food than I could ever carry in my pack. So in this video, I'm showing you everything I ate on my 3-day solo car camping trip in Glacier National Park, including what worked, what didn't, and whether or not I packed the right amount of food. Let's see how this goes. If we haven't met yet, hi, I'm Kathleen, a food-motivated hiker, solo backpacker, backpacking coach for women, and the hungry hiker here on YouTube. And this is my annual solo car camping trip to Glacier National Park. Last year was my first time visiting Glacier alone, and let's just say things didn't go as planned. I dealt with bad weather, crowds, parking issues, and even injured myself within the first mile of my hike. So this year, I'm coming back to the park with a much better plan. And when it comes to food, I want to keep things really easy. I'm bringing a few of my own homemade freeze-dried meals, some fresh food that I would never bring backpacking, and actual dishes because when I'm car camping, I'm highbrow. So let's start with dinner on night 1. After getting to my campsite in St. Mary and getting everything set up in my car, it was time for dinner and I was pretty hungry. All right, for dinner tonight, I'm having my beef stew that I made myself, put it in the freeze dryer, and rehydrated along with some focaccia bread. I did rehydrate some leftover pad thai. It's a small serving. I'm pretty hungry. I had an early lunch and haven't really had much else to eat today. I wasn't sure how the beef stew would turn out. Sometimes when I rehydrate this one, the beef is kind of chewy, or not even chewy, crunchy. So I kind of did the pad thai as a backup meal. Let's see how it tastes. This one actually rehydrated perfectly. So good. Such good flavor. It tastes like I just made it in my kitchen. You might be wondering why I'm eating this in a bowl and not in my Mylar bag that I rehydrated my meal in. That's because I'm car camping. When I'm car camping, I am highbrow. I've got, well, I'm using my backpacking spoon, but I've got dishes, I've got silverware, I've got my whole kitchen with me because I don't have to carry it. I'm eating out of a bowl instead of a bag because I can. And I can also wash it when I'm done. Who knew eating out of a bowl could be so luxurious? I think my eyes were bigger than my stomach. There's no way I'm gonna be able to finish this. It's also not as good as I remember when I had it in the restaurant. Another bonus for car camping, I don't have to carry this out. I hate wasting food, but I had no business rehydrating 2 meals. Next time I think about rehydrating 2 meals, tell me now. The next morning, I kept breakfast really simple since I had to get up so early to catch my 7 a.m. shuttle up to Logan Pass. Breakfast this morning was strawberries that I cut up at home, Greek yogurt, and homemade granola. This is one of those breakfasts I'd never bring backpacking because of the fresh ingredients. Last night while making dinner, I also prepped my lunch and snacks for today's hike. I made myself a caprese sandwich on focaccia bread and packed a bunch of snacks. Kind bars, fruit bars, a beef stick, toffee pecans, Oreos, dried edamame, sesame sticks, and electrolytes. I know, that's a lot of snacks, but I plan on doing a pretty big hike today, and I like having options when I'm out hiking because I never really know what I'll be in the mood for. Here we go, round 2 of the Highline Trail. This time I'm not getting injured, and I'm going both ways. And honestly, I hope I don't see a grizzly bear. The weather so far is perfect. It's perfect. It's so perfect. I knew I had a long day ahead of me, and I didn't want to wait until I hiked all the way to the chalet and was starving before I started eating today. About 4 miles in, I stopped for a snack and my electrolytes. Almost to the chalet. Hiked 7.4 miles in 3.5 hours. Not too shabby. I am starving for lunch. So close, like maybe a half mile. Once I got to the chalet, I found a really nice shady spot on the ground and enjoyed my lunch, which was a homemade caprese sandwich with tomatoes, mozzarella, greens, and a balsamic glaze. I've been thinking about this sandwich for the last 4 miles and it was so good. Along with my sandwich, I also had pickled flavored Pringles and a couple fruit bars along with Oreos for dessert. Just had lunch at the chalet and now I'm gonna hike the 7.6 miles back to Logan Pass. And I'm feeling great. It's 12:30. Maybe I'll be there 3:30, 4:30. We'll see. But this has been such an awesome redemption hike. Perfect weather. It's not too hot. My body feels good. A lot different than when I was here last year. All right. I'm excited to see it going the other way. And spoiler alert, I made it all the way back to Logan Pass with no injuries. By the time I had made it back to camp, I had hiked 14 miles and over 2,600 feet of elevation gain. I was tired, but I was also really happy. Today could not have gone more perfect. I got to stick to the plan. I didn't have to pivot, and it all worked out. I'm really hungry. I definitely worked up an appetite today. I ate almost all of my snacks except for 2 snacks. And they're the same 2 snacks that I didn't eat on my previous 2 trips. I might reconsider bringing those snacks on future trips. But all my snacks worked out great, and I'm hungry for dinner. For dinner tonight, I was having another one of my homemade freeze-dried meals, my Thanksgiving dinner. There's something really satisfying about having a warm meal at the end of a long hiking day. And yes, I put my dinner in a bowl again because I'm car camping. And for dessert, while reading my book, I ate a couple Reese's peanut butter cups. The next morning, I left my campsite around 6:15 and drove to Manny Glacier, hoping to get a parking spot at the Grinnell Glacier Trailhead. Good morning from the Grinnell Glacier Trailhead parking lot. If you are not here by, I'd say, 7 at the absolute latest, you probably won't get a parking spot in the parking lot. Now that I'm here in the parking lot, I have my parking spot. I could take my time, so now I can just enjoy myself. This morning was another easy breakfast with strawberries, Greek yogurt, and homemade granola. And I prepped my lunch and snacks for my hike today, which would be another caprese sandwich, barbecue chips instead of Pringles, a couple Kind bars, fruit bars, sesame sticks, and the dried edamame. The key to glacier success, starting early. All right, here we go. Hike number 2 for this trip. Going to Grinnell Glacier and cold plunging in the Grinnell Glacier. Here we go. After reaching Grinnell Glacier, I found this semi-private spot on the peninsula where I could do 2 cold plunges and then sit down for lunch. And this might be the most ridiculous lunch I've had in a long time. A homemade caprese sandwich, barbecue chips, snacks, and a glacier. The perfect little lunch spot got a little crowded, but I did have it to myself for probably about 15-20 minutes, so not bad. Now, let's hike back to the trailhead. Once I finished my hike and got back to the car, I had one very important mission, and that was to find the soft serve in Manny Glacier. Almost to the trailhead, survive the crowds. Next stop, soft serve at the lodge. I hope that's a true story because I've been thinking about soft serve for the last 4 miles. All right, correction, there's no soft serve at the Manny Glacier Lodge. Apparently it's a mile down the road at the Swift Current gift shop. Everyone keeps talking about the vanilla swirl and the berry. I don't know, but I'm about to find out. Let's go get some soft serve. Mission accomplished. Found the soft serve. So I got the berry and the vanilla. I got a little bit of both. Totally worth hiking 11 miles for. So technically, I wasn't completely self-sufficient with my food on this trip, but I'm not mad about it. After 2 big hiking days, I was perfectly happy to spend a few dollars on some soft serve. I love soft serve. By the time I got back to camp, I wasn't very hungry. It was still pretty early and I just had lunch and soft serve. But since this was my last night, I also needed to start cleaning out the cooler. So dinner quickly turned into a what can I turn into dinner situation. For dinner tonight, I would be having another homemade freeze-dried meal, which was chili and cornbread, along with leftover salad ingredients and a cheese wedge to put in my chili. Was it fancy? No. Was it delicious? Absolutely. And this would be my last night of the trip, and I didn't have to get up early in the morning. I saved one special dessert for last, and that was s'mores. Tonight is my last night here on my solo car camping trip in Glacier. I've been reading my book, and because it is my last night, I will be making s'mores. So I'll be making a fire, making some s'mores, because I don't have to get up early tomorrow. I head back home tomorrow. But tonight, I'm gonna read my book, eat some s'mores, and then enjoy sleeping in, not having to get up at 5:30 in the morning for once. All right, let me get this fire started. I brought everything I needed to make a fire, roast marshmallows, and make some s'mores, and sat by the fire for the rest of the evening. After 3 days of early mornings, big hikes, crowds, a glacier cold plunge, and a very important soft serve mission, I finally got to just sit down. This was probably easily one of my most favorite moments of this whole trip. The next morning, before packing everything up and heading back to Missoula, I enjoyed one last breakfast at camp. Strawberries with Greek yogurt and granola, and of course, some hot tea. Then I packed everything up and headed back home. So after 3 days of car camping, did I pack the right amount of food? I think for the most part I did. And honestly, this entire trip was a huge improvement over last year. Last year, I really didn't plan my food for my trip and spent a bunch of money on pizza in town. This year, with a little planning, I saved myself a whole lot of money by packing my own breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and desserts. I had fresh food, homemade freeze-dried meals, and had plenty of food in that I never worried about running out of it. And I did treat myself to that soft serve in Manny Glacier, which was well deserved. But I also learned that I don't need to bring as much food as I think I do, especially when I'm car camping. With car camping, I don't have to worry about carrying all of the food I need with me for a trip. I have my car and access to stores just in case I run out, and I can always change my plans if I need to. After this trip, I think I figured out my ideal car camping food strategy. Fresh foods for meals I really want to enjoy, freeze-dried meals for convenience, and a variety of snacks for hiking days. The only thing I would need to change is to stop bringing the same 2 snacks I keep refusing to eat. If you're someone who struggles with trying to figure out what food to bring on your hiking, backpacking, and car camping trips, I have a free guide that can help. Backpacking Food Made Ridiculously Simple walks you through the exact process I use to figure out what food to bring, how much to pack, and how to plan meals for each trip. Click the link down in the description below to download your free guide. I'm curious, if you were planning a car camping trip like this, what would you have packed? More food, less food, or about the same? Tell me in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy trails and keep on trucking.